if it was given to Kodutech, don't you think that, it would have kind of like capacitated Kodutech to employ more labor, and many people will get the same jobs? But our public sector is so much corrupted that, brilliant minds who are doing so much cannot get access to these jobs unless they have the connection, the political connection. Hello, this is Abdul Hakim Genius, and you are watching Genius Reflections. So there's this notion going out there about how lazy Ghanaian youth are. However, I just want to debunk this force that, the Ghanaian youth I know are never lazy. In fact, they are one of the most hardworking people you would ever find. Ghanaian youth are so brilliant with beautiful ideas, innovative ideas. I mean, the only problem that we face as youth in Ghana has to do with an ecosystem or that is not enabling. We do not have a thriving and enabling system to support our growth, to support our inclusion and our development and welfare. So right now, there are some major concerns that the Ghanaian youth uh, are raising and seriously needs that to be addressed in order for their concerns to be heard. And right now, when we look at this, one of the key things that Ghanaian youth need currently has to do with employment, jobs, and employment. Ghanaian youth are in need of jobs and employment. Not just any jobs, but decent jobs. Right now in the market space, people are graduates are paid as low as 400 Ghana cedis on a monthly basis just for them to be able to sustain themselves, which is not decent at all. And so it is time for politicians to take this concern of high importance rather than sugarcoat and give them sympathy. Ghanaian youth are not looking for sympathy, they are looking for the right and decent jobs, create more jobs to be able to cater for these graduates and skilled force that is out there. So that is one of the concerns that the Ghanaian youth needs to be. And the second one has to do with relevant skills. In this 21st century of AI, internet and everything, the Ghanaian youth today needs the relevant skills to keep them up to date and to ensure that they're able to fit into the system to be able to move with current trends. We need to relook at the whole curriculum in our educational system. I mean, we need to bring innovation into it, look at the curriculum again. Take ways that we can teach students and learners critical thinking. How they can, the TVET for the past 8 years, the TVET sector in Ghana is revamping, and then I can feel the spirit. Uh, and so we just need to invest more also into TVET and make it very, I mean, sound for people to go into that. I mean, those in TVET should not be seen as failures. And that's one of the systemic failures we have in Ghana. When someone goes to the second cycle institution to read masonry, the person is going to read carpentry. Some people see that as failure. You should have read science, agriculture, business, and the rest. And that is something that is not helping. Us. More than ever, we need to upgrading our skills and even graduates. When you come out of the university and there's no job, please try to, I mean, try to be able to adapt. If you can just use a span of 1 year or 6 months to learn a particular skill that can get you some decent job. Whether it is self-employment or you are going to be employed by a firm, please try. Don't be strict. That for me, I read science in school, I did nursing in school, I did geography, I did engineering in school. your certificate does not matter. What matter is your output. So when you come out and the system demands that you upgrade yourself, whether it is online content like YouTube that you are going to read, I mean, materials to embrace yourself with some skills, photography, communication, branding, whatever it is, some soft skills, you can just quickly do that. And another key thing that the Ghanaian youth today needs has to do with funding and investment opportunities. I mean, many of them, like I mentioned, Ghanaian youth have the ideas, they have chunk of ideas, and most of them are dying with those ideas. What we are looking for is investment. And so the right investors should come in and support the youth. They have so much innovation. I mean, now we see so many startups growing up here in even in northern region. We know of so many startups that are sprouting, and they are doing amazing work with even social profiling, and they have this social impact, model where they kind of like act like social enterprises with I mean an objective to also give back to community and solve a problem in the community. And if only these um, startups are being supported and accelerated, it will go a long way to curbing the second point I mentioned, which has to do with the decent jobs. Imagine the sanitary pass, for instance, that the Ministry of Education, easing the menstrual poverty. If it was given to Kodutech, don't you think that it would have kind of like capacitated Kodutech to employ more labor, and many people will get the same jobs, and then to also stabilize Kodutech, and then I mean make them stand firm in the business ecosystem. And so, please, it's time that we support this youth with big investment, not the cola change, the chicken chain that we usually give out. Big investment so that they can also create businesses that can employ up to hundreds of people, but not just for that. And we expect the private sector to come on, like complement the government sector. So I think, as a country, these are some of the things that the youth are in need of, and we should be able to do that for them. One of the things also has to do as how our political landscape is treating the average Ghanaian. It's the Ghanaian who votes for you to come into power and lead the nation. Unfortunately, the state of corruption and hiddenness within politicians is growing. Some of them don't even think that we voted them into power. And I mean, it's something that within 4 years you can be voted out of power again. And so we need accountability. The corruption is too much that today the Ghanaian youth can no longer get opportunities unless they have connections. The Ghanaian youth today can no longer get opportunities unless they have um, connections, especially with public sector. It is private sector that mostly it has to do with what you can do, what you can offer. But our public sector is so much corrupted that brilliant minds who are doing so much cannot get access to these jobs unless they have the connection, the political connection to be able to. And what we are doing is actually killing spirits, also killing the patriotism in our workforce, and people are not giving their best output. So we need to employ the right people and make sure that everything is there. And then finally, a point that I've mentioned a couple of times ago has to do with the mental health and social support. We need to give the youth of this country, they are calling for mental health is an issue, procrastination, all those sorts of things. When there are demands, I mean, there's this meme that is going on online. What I ordered versus what I got. Yeah, so our youth go through years of education, and then at the end of the education, whilst in school, they are expecting that after graduation they will land into decent jobs, and then when they graduate, the story is a different thing. So it's kind of like what you ordered is not what was delivered to you. And so, I mean, these youth come out of the universities and they are frustrated, and we need to provide that kind of environment of social support, especially parents. We should be able to motivate them. I mean, some parents, when they come out of their rooms and they see their children, then all of a sudden they get upset. You need to be creating that thriving and enabling supportive environment for that young graduate or that child of yours to be able to hold on to their dreams and not let them go. So we need to give them that support, and then mentally we need to, I mean, kind of like be with them and let them understand that they have support system. Let them understand that they have people that they can always fall to, and then when they need advice. So I think these are just some of the five things I think the Ghanaian youth need today, and then I mean we should be able to give that. So to the employer, please, we know that taxes are also making some companies, especially the private sector, they're able to break even. But notwithstanding, some just greedily, kind of out of greedy, they don't pay their workers very much. And it's something that is not, I mean, they pay you very less for the output you give. So please let us try to give decent remunerations also to motivate people. And nowadays, it's very difficult for you to kind of like convince someone that education is the key to success, because they can point out to one, two, three, four, five graduates, even with first class, who do not have jobs. And so we need that kind of system to help them. I mean, I'll stop here. If you have any thoughts about these things, any additions that you can add to this discourse, I mean, they are all welcome. Write in the comment box. So like, comment, and also share so that it reaches many people. Once again, my name is Hakim Genius, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.